Now, do you hope that the eKhaya houses will eventually replace informal settlements and replace shacks?
What I would hope certainly is that eKhaya is part of the solution. You know, where we are right now, I always think, you know, Steve Jobs didn't design the iPhone 5 from the start. You know, we started, and I think of eKhaya as a cell phone where you're still carrying the battery around in a wheelbarrow. And you know, we've got a huge possibility of improving things, you know, radically as we go. And I think part of that is certainly, it's an incremental improvement by getting it out there into the community, working out not only improvements technically, but also these financial models. And ultimately, yes, if we can see them from Cape to Cairo, or at least be part of the answer, fantastic. That's really what I'm aiming at, yeah.
Now, have any of them been built? Is there a prototype? Have they been built anywhere?
Yes, well, we obviously did quite a lot of research and prototyping, which started about 2 years ago. That was following a shack fire, major shack fire in Imazamayetu, and a friend of mine, her shack burned down. And following on from the prototype, it was then a case of saying, how can we actually see if this works in a community? And with the help of a friend of mine who also currently lives in a shack in Green Park, Raymond, he identified a community out of Blue Downs where there was a couple disabled, largely, well, a very poor sight. One of them had a stroke many years ago.
Wow.
And living in the most dire circumstances you can imagine. I mean, if you can imagine the worst shack and then double the negative, the terrible sort of experience, that's what they were living in. So we went to that community and talked to them and went through this process of actually the community themselves, with our assistance in providing material, actually building an eKhaya for William and Gloria, and they've been living in this for about the last 6 months. Very sadly, just 2 weeks ago, William actually died of TB.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, you know, quite sad, and I just, you know, I'm very, very grateful for the fact that at least he spent, you know, the last few months of his life in comfort. Sorry, it really makes me feel well, I do feel so strongly about these issues. So that was a difficult thing to hear. But what was amazing about that experience was that we started on the Monday with filling bags. The community, they're living on a waste tip site, or what used to be a waste dump site. Haven't really, any of them had a regular job in their lives. Most of them got either TB, AIDS, lung cancer, you name it. Yeah. And they, from the Monday through to the Thursday, by Thursday we had a 28 square meter house with the sandbags built, stacked up against the frame and ready for plastering and creating the roof in 4 days. And you know, the experience of actually seeing people, probably for the first time in their lives, actually saying, wow, I can really do something, and you know, I don't have to just scratch a living, you know, day to day. This is what we've created as a community. I mean, that was a fantastic experience. It was a real sort of almost kind of electric atmosphere, if I can use an overused phrase.